conversation with Jasmin Waldmann, a popular life coach. And Jasmin, thank you so much for this opportunity of having an in-person meeting with me. I have a few personal questions and I hope you can help guide me with your answers.
Absolutely, I try my best. Vithika, I try my best.
Thank you very much. So my first question is about having a good work-life balance. Something that I have struggled with, I still maybe struggle with in my personal life. And I think a lot of other people are also facing the same struggles. You know, trying to do their best at work, also making sure that they are not missing out on anything when it comes to their child or when it comes to spending quality time with your spouse. So, what are your tips on that?
Well, it's a big topic, and we touch. I mean, the thing, as a matter of fact, is we have a lot of roles in our lives. So, mother, you're maybe an employee or manager or entrepreneur, whatever work it is, a spouse. You're also the child of somebody, and so you have so many roles in life, you and everybody else. And I mean, the difficulty is, as you said, we try to make it, happen. So in each corner, in each subject, and this gives a lot of stress. Plus the demand is, nowadays demand is really high, and it starts with ourselves. So the actual question is, what is really important? So I think we miss the point that we set priorities. When you have, you can't have 20 priorities. It depends actually on your values, which you have. For example, it's family, or it's business and career, or. So I think it starts from there, and we have to also organize ourselves in a good way, in an appropriate way. So, but first of all, I think it's the awareness. When we talk about your issue, so are you aware? This would be my first question. What you really need and what is really important for you. And this can be, for example, so your family, so your kids. This is number one. Then maybe number two is your husband and family overall and above. But I think we can't put family always together because there are a lot of people, specifically in India. So it's not just child, husband, or maybe another child. It's just like we have an aunt and an uncle and granny and grandfather. Everybody is living under the same roof, and it starts with this. For example, it can be also business is really number one of your top priorities. What I want to say with that is it's so important that we are aware of what we really need, first of all, and what really counts to us or for us. And having said that, it's also including, are you aware in what happenings or what doings do you get a lot of energy out? So a lot of people, when I ask them, so how you get your energy, how you get energy back, so how you recharge your batteries, they say, I'm sleeping, I'm watching TV, and I just wonder, so your mind is constantly working, also during sleep, it's working. How can you really calm down? Forget about slowing down. So your mind should be really sometimes on zero. It's like some meditation, and let's assume you clean the dishes. And you just do this, and you dive completely into this, and usually your mind is just digesting, and you follow this thought, without holding on something. It's just coming and going. It's quite emptying, usually the mind and the thoughts. And this is not about washing the dishes, it's about whatever we do, what we call maybe hobbies as well, painting, listening to music. So we have this music therapy, we don't call it meditation, but I think the differences are not that big. So, does it comes to your answer?
It does. I'm also just wondering, how can one find me time for themselves? Like, one thing is acknowledging that you need it, but how can one just create that me time in a space which you're sharing with so many other people, with so many responsibilities? Is it even feasible to find some me time to yourself?
I think you have to. This is the biggest responsibility towards yourself. I think otherwise you will be never in balance. And when you're not in balance, nothing else around you will be in balance. So your whole environment will be topsy-turvy when you are inside topsy-turvy, because whatever comes inside, it's seen and felt outside. What is me time for you? What you really enjoy doing with yourself?
That's true.
No, that's the question. Are you aware of this? I mean, you don't have to share it, but are you aware of it?
I'm aware of, trying to. I'm honest. Quite honestly, I try to get some me time for myself from time to time. But then I also find myself in situations where I am just really busy doing things that need to be done, and it is nobody's fault. It's about me taking on whatever I decided to take on. So
true, because you made your call. As far as I know, you have 24 hours a day. Me too. But I give you an example about me. So because when I don't have me time, I'm so unbalanced and I will not go for anything further. So I just can't do it. That's what is in my mind. And I think I never stopped this, from my childhood. There's always some me time, and whatever it is, can be small things like painting your fingernails or something. Can be really so many different things, or just having a walk for 10-15 minutes.
Just anything can be therapy as long as it works for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we have to discover what is really important for you, what you really enjoy, even when it's for just 10 minutes a day. It's like in the morning I have a ritual, and I don't want to live without. I always have some meditation. Before I do anything else, I have hot water, meditation, and then my day continues. I would not say starts, but
continues.
Yeah, then I'm balanced. So nobody's supposed to talk to me. Usually I don't see anybody.
Okay, so my second question is actually quite connected to meditation that you just spoke about.
Yeah.
Because I think meditation is fascinating. And I would love to have that as part of my schedule. And I haven't done that. Because I find it difficult to meditate. And I don't know why.
What is the difficulty you're facing?
I just feel like my mind is never
Stopping?
Never stopping.
Yeah.
It's just, and I think it's a very common thing with people who say that how can you meditate, and how do you focus everything in one direction? And that emptiness. Sometimes I feel like I want to enjoy that feeling of being empty in my head.
Absolutely. I'm laughing because we have such a big misunderstanding on this earth, I think. Everybody has this idea and so expecting there's emptiness. You just sit and then emptiness will start. But it's actually not. The thing is, as we usually start, so we sit for 5 or 10 minutes and there are so many thoughts because the subconscious mind was suppressed the whole day. It's like, I don't want to see this, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to listen to this. We're constantly in self-talks, aware or unaware. So, but we are. And we go, we go then after, the whole day of work, somewhere in a silent mode, and then the subconscious mind says, yes, now I have a time to talk. But it's amazing. So after 10 minutes, and not, suppressing it or rejecting it or something, it's just let it go, let it happen, and don't stick on any thought as such. And this is already, something, because it's seductive, it's compelling to think about this. Yeah, what did he say there on this lunch? So what was that? What does he mean by that? So we continue, we step on and going in a ride on a cloud, and then we're taking, in some places until they say, hey, thank you a lot. So, but actually this is my stop. I didn't want to go there. And this is actually continuously this kind of thinking process, because the brain is made of thinking. So just for thinking, there's constantly thoughts. And as I said, so also during the night, and specifically actually during night, there are so many, happenings. It's just digesting, this is some fantasies, everything comes together. And I think in meditation we have the big opportunity, and it's a challenge thing, of course, but to sit quiet, to let it happen, so to give really some time, so for at least 10 minutes, and just to sit and you just listen without being carried away with that, and then your thoughts calm down and down and down. It's a constant process actually.
Okay, so we cannot expect like results right on the first day.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself
Yeah.
time in that process.
A lot of clients or interested people come to me and they're interested, in this life coaching and meditation and things like that. And this is, you know what, Jasmine, I tried meditation, but it became really aggressive for me, or I became really angry or aggressive or upset. So meditation is nothing for me. And then talking about this, as I explained, so it made sense to them. So now they have constantly, this meditations every day, and it's a complete different understanding. And I think we are really impatient towards ourselves the most, also towards others like our spouse and children. The most inner circle of ours are, I think, they need a lot of cushion actually sometimes for us. Yeah, but actually meditation is an interesting part, and on the beginning, like everything else, you have to create a habit, you have to create a routine so that your unconscious or subconscious mind is asking for this after some time, because then you are familiar with that. This is like smoking. I mean, it's a stupid habit, unnecessarily, but it made some sense for some time, when then it becomes something which comes automatically and we're not thinking about this anymore. And this is with everything, also with meditation. So like a lot of people in when they have some workouts, they tell me, regularly after some half a year, so it's like, Jasmine, I can't live without a workout, I can't skip a workout, I feel so unbalanced. So if something is really missing, if I skip a workout, or I just can't make it because I travel or this and that, or I was sick, so now I'm dying to work out again. So it's like with meditation as well. And I think actually when we really be in the Himalayas like a Swami, so we don't need to meditate, because life is then a meditation.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think this is really the most, I don't know, it's a great target actually to try to reach. If you reach it or not doesn't matter, so but to live your life in that way that you don't need meditation, because it's already in a meditative way. I mean, this is brilliant, right? But
is it possible to have a life like that in Gurgaon?
I think it's really difficult in offices, but I think it's doable. Honestly speaking, I think it's
more
doable.
conscious of your own self.
Yeah, because the power we have the power about our own thoughts. We can't change environment, we can't change people or something, but we have the big power how we respond to people or to statements or to anything which is happening. It's like this vase is now just dropping by chance. It's like, oh no, but then it's my responsibility, and it's also the question which I can ask myself, so okay, how do I want to respond? It sounds a little crazy, but it's actually really like this. I'm upset, I'm happy about it, I'm completely neutral, so okay, let's buy a new one, or whatever it is.
So basically having control.
Emotions in a way. And I think the most stress is we take a lot of things in a negative way, which is bothering us, which is not supporting us on the first beginning, a phone call which is just maybe not that comfortable. So a couple of things, but we can say, so, okay, we manage the chaos. And we can smile at it, and we go out on the end of a working day with more energy as we came into in the morning, for example. It's really actually up to us, and we can't blame others or circumstances. I mean, sometimes we can, but nevertheless, it's our response.
It's just creating a more positive environment around you with your own thoughts, right? In terms of how you are responding to situations in your life, how you're perceiving things.
I think I just had this also on this panel discussion in Pune, in this literature fest. I think positive thinking is, whatever you think as positive thinking is maybe different than what I think. Yeah, exactly. And hopefully, because when something is just stupid or not good, it's just stupid or not good. We can't wish it's better. We can't, think, oh, it's good, it's good, it's good. It's not good, and we have to accept that. But the direction you went was nice, because we have to take care, and I think we have to surround ourselves with, like positive people. good energy, whatever that is. So we have to create also good atmospheres and give good energies, to others. But that's what we can do, and this is completely in our hand. But sometimes we have some co-workers or some colleagues, boss or something, which are just, I don't know, mindless or negative. They have a negative, yeah. They have an aura which is negative, and it's just like sucking out energy of everybody's, life energy or something. And that's a matter of fact, you should stay away from this kind of people. So, we can support these kind of people up to an extent, but we should not be with them we should be with them as short as possible, because it's poisoning us, and there's no point. So, but yeah, we have a lot of responsibility towards ourselves, and we have a lot of opportunities. It's just about, whatever we think about, and awareness is really the key from my consideration. So also in meditation, that's what you asked me, as some question, to become regular.
Yeah.
And I think whenever we start something, that's I think our mind is so, I don't know, it's jumping on things, right? Rather than, going slow and starting on a slower way or pace. So we're jumping on things. So we push the gas pedal somehow. And this is like when people start, some fitness regimes. So they start from 0 to 1,000. So going out for a run for an hour.
Yeah, I've done that.
I think everybody's done that. Totally exhausted. When I started jogging, this is so many years ago, and then afterwards I studied sports and health, and I saw all my mistakes, and I thought, oh my god. So I started jogging. I was a kid when I started ballet, but this is completely far away from jogging and this super intense thing. So I started jogging, so after 10 minutes, my head was red like a tomato. I couldn't breathe anymore. I just walked. I kept on going, and then so I had 1 minute more, but always like this 100%. And then after weeks, usually people just stop this and quit this, hopefully, because it's so destroying for the body. It's not prepared. We are so motivated, and the body is so much prepared. So, and we have to find somewhere a balance. But it's a different subject. But in meditation as well, so starting with 3, 4, 5 minutes a day is super, it's good enough. And we have so different techniques. We have breathing meditation, we have Zen meditation, we have a variation of opportunities, what we can do, of techniques.
So actually, this is also true for other things, right? Like the other routines or the motivation that we keep for other things in our lives. We are always wanting to be 100% at everything. So we create that pressure for ourselves.
Yeah.
And do we have to just tell ourselves it is okay to not be perfect every day? Or
I don't know what perfect is, so I really don't understand perfect, no? But I think we create so much misery for ourselves and others in trying to make it better and better and better. And I had the chance to be with one of a big, well-known author sitting together. And I asked him, because I got asked this question. So when I write some article or this book which I wrote, which is upcoming, Change Me. And he asked me, so when do you know you finished this article, you finished this book, and how you know that it's good enough and you don't want to change it and you can do it even better and you're just continuously working on that, so how you find an end? And I think this is really the question. And this author just told me, Jasmin, so when I find it good, so I don't mind about others, but I'm satisfied with the work I've done. And I think this is really good. And I think there's a nice saying, so we can't compete with others. So it's not a really healthy thing. Yeah. But we can find some idea or something which is motivating us. So to be a little better, we ourselves will better than yesterday.
Yeah, not comparing yourself with anybody else.
Yeah, but you with yourself from yesterday, and you can do a small little step forward in. When you reflect the days, like what was good, what was bad, you ask yourself really good questions just to improve yourself maybe tomorrow, but not this 100% far better and go-getting and stuff like this. But it's just a little thing. So maybe you're freaked out of somebody's comment, and then you reflect, what was this actually? I mean, where was the source of this stupid comment? And then you dig a little and say, actually, because my husband didn't give me a kiss saying goodbye, or something like this, right? We accumulate and we carry on with this.
So just talking of competition, being a mother of a 5-year-old, I do see a lot of mothers, sort of putting their child in competition more than the children see themselves in such competition. So I find parents who are being extremely competitive and then making sure that, or making the child feel bad, or rather discouraging that you're not as good as this other child. And as a society, I mean, this is something very, very common in Indian society, especially from the time when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And I do see that happening even now.
Yeah, they use it as a weapon to improve the child.
This is affecting the relationship that you have with your child. Anything that you have to say about that?
About the mothers, they're doing that?
Mothers or fathers.
How to bring up kids is such a big topic, and it's really close to me. So ever since, I think, I don't know, we should encourage our kids actually to be aware and to accept the way they are, and to recognize that they are very unique. It's like also with our super actors and actresses on this earth, nobody is saying, so you, Angelina Jolie, should be with Jennifer Aniston. Actually, you should have the same character and this and that. I mean, this is, and we should consider our kids, also ourselves, as very unique, and we should really empower that kids are, competition is, I think, very good here or there, so but just as a personality and growing up, some little kid, some little person, I think it's not really a good idea. So talking about encouraging, it's just whatever a kid is doing, so it's like, it's interesting, so it doesn't has to be, it's not your image you want to put, it's not your autobiography, on the kid, but the kid is a complete different individual.
The world is full of clones. We don't want any more. Right?
Exactly. And I mean, the kids have a lot of, urge to be like the other kids. And where does it come from? From parents, from the environment, from adults. And who brings up kids usually? Women.
Yeah.
I mean, we have so much power. But it's not a one-way street. I mean, we are interdependent, as it sounds so funny, but we are really depending on everybody. Actually, everybody was like, it starts with your grocery shop. When they don't deliver fresh milk after 2-3 days, or even here after 1 day, you just don't get any milk anymore, and then it continues. I mean, even we are indirectly also connected to this. So I think we have to really understand that we are great as we are. I would not say perfect, because then you measure it on something. So perfect as you are, so yes, because you are this one creation, and you don't have a second you, so this is only you. So, and this is perfect in that way, or it's just good, and has to be accepted. So,
and for parents, I mean, you have to be a parent to the child you have, not parent a child you want to have, right?
I think parents have to really learn the lesson that this is not themselves. So they have to respect it. This is a complete new person. Let's be curious about this person. So what is the person's dislikes? Okay, it's not good in sports. This was my big wish. It's not. It's not good in philosophy or chemistry or mathematics, or it's not interested in cricket. It's maybe interested in something which you don't like. We have to really accept this, and to see and being really interested in this person and not hallucinating. This is like, this could be like this and this. And it starts usually in the womb when the fresh young mothers have still their kids carrying around. and maybe this kid come one day a doctor, or I don't know, like blue or red or yellow. So it's just, we are hallucinating, so fantasizing. And I think this is actually, we can't change others again, so we can't change other mothers. But I think when it's so crazy outside, we have to take even more care inside. Inside the family. And that means some time. So we have to talk to kids. And I don't know, whatever I observed, and I observed this now since 4 years in India, we don't talk so much to children, so to kids. It's just the necessity, okay, don't touch this, don't do this. It's like, yeah, very good, very good, very good, very good. This is just, the normal stuff without really saying anything. So using words but not saying something or asking. So I think we have to get really this curiosity for this kid. Because this kid will be really just like going his own way, so going to this college, having this preferences, this hobbies, becomes amazing in X, Y, Z or something. And you as a parent should just see and say, oh wow, great, okay, you want to do this? Good, I support you. Even it's totally stupid for me, columns. So, but I respect this because this is you, this is not me.
And I think when we're respecting them being curious, we're actually encouraging their creativity.
Yeah, exactly. And we, self-esteem, self-determination, self-respect, it's like self-confidence. So everything is supported actually, directly and indirectly. And I think this is the big thing we have to do as parents or just as adults. So when I have some kids in my neighborhood, and they're coming to me, I also have some responsibility. If they're doing some stupid stuff, like going with their shoes on a sofa or something, it's like, buddy, don't do this. This is not good. Just imagine where you stepped before, and then you sit exactly on that. Maybe some whatever stuff from the street. There are dogs and cats and cows. So also when I have clients, the youngest client of mine was 9. So from tennis, and he was in a higher league already, and we have to talk to them in a way which is understandable for them. So I always say, okay, you have to pick them up where they are, mentally where they are. If they stuck up there, I can't talk about this because the bridge is just too big. So how can they understand? They can't even lose me because they never been with me.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, it's a big topic.
Yeah. No, I'm finding this really, really useful. So
thank you. Happy to hear that. Yeah.
As I was thinking, Indian society generally is a very sexist society. So if you look at relationships, and if you just talk about couples, sexism plays, is in possibly everything, everyday routine in terms of how things are. How couples support each other, or is it just a one-way support, or is it even support that has never been asked for or never been questioned? How can couples be made to understand that, or even talk about support, about needs, that you need to support each other, or to even understand what are the needs that they have for each other?
I think you have to be aware of your own needs first of all. Like when you have that, this is the chance now, either you give up your job or your husband gives up the job, so to take care of the child, and so we have actually the possibilities, I think, also in India, right? So it's that we can
I don't think it's a very respected choice because and I think it's what, it's also about changing certain stereotypes and notions that you cannot have a house dad and somebody who's wanting to be in the house and just letting their partner just follow a career.
Yeah, but here, this is a complete no-go. I think even nowadays. But we have the chance actually to say that, and I think women give up quite more often their jobs, which actually I think makes sense, at least in the first 2 years, having a child, a newborn, because the first 2 years are really crucial for a kid, and I think we have to also understand this before we even get pregnant. This is a big thing, so what we have to make a choice, because the next 2.5, 3 years will be just not really that cozy. but this is a different thing. I think, first of all, we have to know what we want, career, family, and sometimes we can't do both simultaneously. I mean, a lot of women try this, and you can see this in their faces. They are frustrated. I mean, not all of them, but I mean, I've seen really a lot of women, and they're brilliant women. This is such a pity seeing them. They're completely exhausted because they want to do it all at the same time. And usually we have a career, then we have maybe some parenthood or motherhood, and then we have maybe career again. Or, I mean, some jobs allow that we have kids and career together, and we have in India so much support. This is amazing. And I think when we put this in a good supportive way, it's fantastic. When we have, when we have a kid and we put this through a nanny, we have a cook, we have a driver, so actually we don't have that much responsibilities anymore. We just have to manage. So that is somehow the question, not talking about a kid, so why we have a kid actually, when we're not able or willing to take care of it as such. So the kids is taking from the driver to the school, get picked up, the nanny is taking over that, you know what I mean? So it's all outsourcing. But apart from this, I think we have to make a call on things. But talking about, either, husband or wife who gives up this, their career or this and that, I think when there's a couple and they're really a team, so they're really understanding each other. It's not, just the outside world and, this superficial or artificial talks which they have, which is necessary talks. So it's like, okay, you like this dish, you don't like this dish, you like this color, you like this brand of car, or this, when we go really deep in understanding each other and being interested in each other and listening to the other person. And I think we have a deep understanding for each other, and I think we find always something good. So it's not compromise, we find something which is good for her and for him. So, and on the end, so everybody will, get benefits out of this. Because it's just, something which is, supportive for everybody, which is positive in that way. But I think this is a big art, honestly speaking, that we, first of all, know about ourselves. Second, that we are so open to each other because we are vulnerable as well in that way. So we can be hurt a lot and very much. So, but if we're willing to go into this dangerous zone, and we learn so much about that as well, so when there are two people and they open up, so they learn about themselves and of course about the other person. But talking about this to come to that, I think it's good when we can really understand, okay, this is important for you, all right, go for this. So you do this for 1 year, and then it's my turn, so I will do this for 1 year. And then, you plan something together. And I think this is it.
The conversation needs to start
from somewhere. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have to keep this in mind, so love is something really beautiful, but it's above love, next to love, under love, whatever it is. It's about teamwork, it's about friendship.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I didn't see so many couples which are really friends with each other.
Yeah.
It's just like controlling each other, coordinating each other, it's like limiting each other. I mean, many things. Yeah.
Yeah, relationships need to be more fulfilling, and
yeah.
And then they have to help you grow.
Yeah, and you just can't grow just yourself. So as I said, so we are interdependent. So we are dependent, within our family, our circle, our, work environment. So a couple of things when, the better we communicate and understand each other, the better we become as a team, as something, united or like a oneness. But it's easier said than done, honestly, because when you have this brilliant idea and you're aware of that and the other person is completely not aware of that, it's completely not interested, what do you want to do? You have at least two choices. So either you continue and you try, or you just say, okay, bye. We're talking about the very beginning, because when sometimes you can sense this in some other person. Yeah.
Okay, my last question.
Yes.
And that is about your book. It's coming up next month.
Hopefully, yeah, October, November.
And it's titled Change Me.
Change Me, yes.
Okay. Could you tell me something about the book?
The book is about the main character, which is a guy, Amit, and the reader is just an observer about Amit's transformation. First body transformation and then mind transformation. So he went through the process of physical exercises, meditation, he get to know about meditation, about diet consulting, and about life coaching. And step by step he identified what he actually wants from life. And he's an Indian in an Indian family in Gurgaon, and he has a lot of difficulties because his father.
Not fiction.
It's fiction and self-help book, so 2 in 1. So the father had different ideas, that's what he followed, and then eventually something changed. So you can read Change Me. Yeah, this is the book about, and this is actually a summary of the work I've done so far for many years with my clients who went through this whole processes. So 3 months was the start, so this is the minimum time. It goes sometimes up to 2 years. So it's changing really complete their life actually. So, and this is, pictured to, like in a story, covered in a story with some effect, some like learning as a byproduct.
I'm really excited about this book, and I'm going to buy a copy and get it signed from you.
I will give you a copy. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmin. Thank you so much for your time, and this was a lovely conversation.
Thank you so
Really
much.
appreciate it.
Same here. Thanks.